Now I invite our next speaker, Mr. Pradeep Sharma. Mr. Pradeep Sharma is from the pharmaceutical industry. He had a long experience of sales, marketing, business management in the pharmaceutical management, and he had a different perspective on the public-private partnership.
Good afternoon. Generally, the session after the lunch is quite tough for the speaker as well as the listeners also. But good thing for me is that the earlier speakers, they have done a good job. Mr. Soumitra gave a very detailed information on public-private partnership. I would like to inform you that I am representing private sector. And I like to just highlight some of the things about private sector. The topic given to me was 4 Ps in pharmaceutical marketing. And my understanding was related to the 4 Ps that you have in marketing. Because ultimately, whether it's a private sector or public sector, until unless you market your programs or your products, you cannot be successful. In my earlier speakers, they gave good examples of some of the schemes run by the government and private partnership. For example, Aragashri. I found it to be quite good. Definitely, this is because someone was more involved in that. And they wanted to make it successful. And I think there was a political support also for these policies. So because of that, these examples are there in our country where success can be also seen with this kind of partnership. Now, coming to my topic, since the topic given to me is 4 Ps in pharmaceutical marketing, I like to ask one simple question. Is there any place in India where the drugs are not available? Can anyone tell me any location in India where the basic drugs or the medicines are not available? Can I have some? I would like to inform you that in each and every corner of India, the drugs or medicines are available. And the credit goes to pharmaceutical industry. There are more than 3,000 companies in India. A patient may not be diagnosed properly, or doctor may not be there, but in that location medicines are definitely available. So please do not underestimate pharmaceutical industry. The total turnover of pharmaceutical industry right now is more than 75,000 crores. Every year, more than 3,000 brands are being launched in Indian pharmaceutical market. There's a big infrastructure. You have more than 4 to 5 lakhs of sales people working in the market. They go to remote places where even transportation facilities are not available. If you look at the distribution channels in pharmaceutical industry, we have a very good partnership with our stakeholders. If you look at distributors, there are more than 40,000 distributors in India. There is an immense network available. Based on my previous colleague who spoke about partnership between the public and private, I was just thinking, why can't we have private partnership? Why can't we utilize the current network of pharmaceutical industry that we have? So these are the ideas, which I feel I can also take with me, because you just mentioned about a glucometer which is just costing around 5 rupees or 50 rupees. So probably pharmaceutical industry can utilize some of these innovations. Now, coming to my topic here, I was given the topic of 4 Ps, and my name also incidentally starts with P, Pradeep Sharma. And I'm talking about pharmaceutical industry. So I don't know whether it's a coincidence or it is designed.
And you're talking in Pradanya.
I don't want to go further. Just to give some information, the 4 Ps in marketing, particularly pharmaceutical marketing, they are price, promotion, place, and this concept of brand management or product management was initiated in 1931 by the company Procter & Gamble. They had a couple of brands in the soap segment, and one of the soap brand was doing well, the other one was not doing well. So they decided to have individual responsibility for each of the brands. And they found that both the brands they started doing well. So this concept became very successful, and most of the companies they started copying it. Now, a product has to be there when there is a problem. That is another P. So what are the 4 P's in pharmaceutical industry? They are place, promotion, product and price. And they all have some correlation to the customer. As per information given by my earlier colleagues, in pharma we have 2 types of customer. One is the indirect customer and second one is the direct customer. Patient for us is indirect customer. We can't directly go to a customer. That is patient. We have to go through the doctors. So for us, a doctor as well as patient, both are customers. Now, the 4 P's in pharma marketing, they are basically taken care by the brand managers or the product managers. And they have 2 phases or the two approaches. And one is inbound and second is outbound. In this, if you look at inbound is basically the product development aspect and outbound is product marketing aspect. And for both, the different qualities or responsibilities are required by brand manager or the product manager. Now, what are the different qualities or responsibilities required by brand manager? They also depend on what is the situation in the market. For example, if the market is mature market, or the company, the size of the company is big or small. So based on these factors, the approach of a marketer will change. If the company size is small and the market is emerging, the approach has to be more inbound and strategic. And if the market is mature and the company size is big, then it is more outbound and tactical. Why? Because since market size is quite big, there is a lot of intense competition. And you cannot totally control the entire market. So you have to understand the verticals of the market. And most important here, what is required from the marketer is that he has to have a good control, internal control, because that is how he can shape the market. Now, one more important aspect is that in the morning I met some of the students here, and they were asking us, what is the future that we have in pharmaceutical industry? I'd like to first highlight what is the role of product manager. The role of product manager is to interface with different departments in the company as well as external stakeholders. For example, internally we have finance department, logistics department, top management, strategy and business development, legal and budget department. We also have corporate communication department, and the interface is with the customers like doctors, hospitals, pharmacies, patient groups, doctor groups, association, etc. And also we have production, medical, regulatory, and the sales team. One of the very important department nowadays is regulatory and medical. Why do I say regulatory and medical? Because earlier topics in the morning, they were discussing about clinical trials. In India, if you want to launch a product, you need to conduct clinical trials. And for conducting a clinical trial, you need to take approval from the regulatory department like PCJ, etc. And these aspects of pharma industry are handled by the medical team or regulatory team. In India, you will take at least more than 1.5 years to launch a new product. If it is a new product, if it's a new entity. But if it is an old product, then it might take just 6 months or maybe slightly more than that. Now, if you look at all these departments, these are the various departments where people from health management courses can play an important role. Generally, I have seen that people coming from management, like colleges or education, they want to be totally in marketing only. But in pharma industry, there are a lot of other opportunities available. For example, a person from your institute can go and join even medical department, particularly regulatory department. Distribution is a very important factor here. Nowadays, legal compliance is also becoming very important. So there also people can join. And if you look at corporate communication, it's a very important department. And strategy and BD is again a new segment which is developing in the pharmaceutical industry. So there are various career options for the students of the health management courses. So you should not only limit yourself to marketing currently. Now I'll just give you some information on the pharma industry. If you look at pharma industry, there are three segments where the purchase of medicine is being done is the retail pharma, the hospitals, and of course the doctors who do the dispensing. If you look at the shift in this trend, like from 2005 onwards to 2013, we'll find that retail pharma is decreasing, but hospital purchase is increasing. That means dynamics of the market they are shifting compared to earlier situation. If you look at the different therapeutic segments in pharmaceuticals, we have two categories of the therapy segment. One is chronic segment, second is the acute segment. And the trend also here is shifting compared to what it was earlier. If you look at the lifestyle diseases, they are increasing in number. For example, cardiac diseases and diabetic diseases, etc. So based on this, the companies will have to change their portfolio and also change their focus approach. So if any company wants to be very successful, they have to have a right balance of both these segments. That is chronic as well as acute. And if you look at all the major companies, they have a right mix or right balance of chronic therapy as well as acute therapy. We were discussing about 4 Ps. One of the most important P in pharma is aggressive promotion. But how do you build your brands? I'll give you an example here. If you look at this graph, the blue bar represents the number of products a company has where the turnover is more than 12 crores. And the yellow dot represents the turnover of the product which is having the highest turnover in that company. So any company who has more number of products in the category of more than 12 to 13 crores shows that the brand building in that company or the promotional aspect